Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of InstacarHK. Today we're reviewing a very special JDM modern classic, being this 1998 Subaru Impreza WRX STI 22B. Now, a lot of you should already know that the 22B is the ultimate performance and limited edition of the GC8 WRX series. Subaru released it back then to celebrate its 40th anniversary and its winning of the World Rally Championship for the third consecutive year in a row. Hence, this 22B only came in this iconic blue color, which was what the rally racing cars used back then. Now, the 22B could also be considered as really the first STI special edition and limited edition model. We're familiar with a lot of the special edition models of today, such as the S209 or the Spec C model, but this really was what started it all. Subaru initially released 400 of the 22B for its domestic market, and apparently it was all sold out within 24 hours after the announcement. Afterwards, due to the popularity, Subaru released another 24 units for the UK and Australian markets, making this a very rare car, and which is very valuable today. Now, the 22B was based on the version 5 of the WRX STI, and as you would expect, Subaru made a lot of enhancements to it, both in and out. The engine had a lot of upgrades, but most notably, the engine was increased from a 2.0 liter to 2.2 liters. They have a lot of unique changes that is specific to the 22B only, including the front and rear bumpers, an adjustable rear wing which is huge. The suspension has a tailor-made built-in suspension, and the brakes have these Subaru 4-piston brakes, which if you look at it today, it is small and it's not that great, but you have to remember, this was before the days of gold, big Brembo 4-piston brakes, or aftermarket, 6-piston, 8-piston AP brakes. And these very beautiful period BBS rims in gold. But most importantly, however, are the front and rear fenders, which has been widened by Subaru by about 3.5 inches. And these fenders are the defining character of the 22B. The moment you see a GC8 with a wide body, you know that it's likely to be the very special 22B. Now, after being released for more than 20 years, a mystique continues to surround the Subaru 22B model, and that is its name, 22B. Subaru never officially gave an explanation of why it's called the 22B. A lot of people, including myself, think it's because the car is a 2.2 liter and the B stands for the built-in suspension, which is tailor-made for this car, so 22B. However, there's also another theory that if you apply some mathematic wizardry to the number 22, which I'm not going to do here because I suck at math, but if you do that, apparently it will come up with the number 555, which is of course the cigarette brand which was the main sponsor of the Subaru WRC team. Now, whether that's true, I don't know, but I think after so many years, Subaru, the 22B, has created such an amazing reputation of being such a cool, special car. It doesn't really need any introduction, nor does it really need an official definition of what its name means. It's just a cool, valuable car which audience love, including myself. So it's time to go for a drive, and I've been quite excited about this drive because Subaru, especially in my younger days, has always been one of my favorite brands. And I actually had a version 5 WRX STI, so the normal version of the 22B back a number of years ago. So this is a little bit of a trip down memory lane, and I'm excited to see how this special edition 22B performs. Now, first impression when you sit in, the interior is relatively the same as the normal STI version. They haven't done too much. I mean, the steering wheel is an RD steering wheel, so that's a bit different. This particular car's interior is in very good nick. This is practically brand new. Two things immediately is, first, you can see the widened rear fenders from your rear view mirror, which is quite cool, which is again very distinctive 22B trait. And secondly, this is also the era where carbon sport seats are not as common yet, so the seats are not too different from the usual STI's bucket seats. Last thing to mention before we head off is the differential. This is specific to the 22B, where you can adjust the differential bias of the car. So if you go up, it will be full lock, which will be fully four-wheel drive. If you go down to the lowest level, then it will be very rear biased. I think let's keep it in the middle, a bit rear biased today, and see how it goes. So let's head off. There's a 5-speed gearbox. Very short throw changes, it's definitely a short shifter. Apparently it's a twin plate clutch, so some say it's a bit hard to engage, but so far it has been quite good. And obviously the moment you set off, you hear the Subaru burble from the engine. These 90s cars, they have very good size. It makes the car a lot more nimble. You can really put it into corners without worrying about going across the line and whatnot. It has power steering, but so far the steering feels quite connected. I don't feel like it's a very disconnected car, which some Japanese cars do suffer from, but unsurprisingly, this is not the case for the 22B. All right, clear roads ahead. Let's give it some juice. Subaru says it only has 280 horsepower, but that was due to the so-called gentleman's agreement that Japanese manufacturers had to abide to back then, where at the request of the government, their cars have to all be 280 horsepower in order to discourage the racing culture. But a lot of people say this 22B, for example, should be about 300 or 320 horsepower, and you can definitely feel it. And this era's four-wheel drive Japanese cars, they're just so confidence-inspiring. Anyone who sits in here, you immediately become a racer. You do understand why they need a gentleman's agreement. You can just really put it in the corner. You point the steering in the front of the car into it, and immediately it just goes. There's no wondering. This car is from 1998. First of all, even for today's standard, it's very capable and it's very quick. And back then, they were on the top. In a sense, it's so easy. The power is so accessible. And they use the power so efficiently with a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, 300 or so horsepower, and the 4-wheel drive. So the electronics in the car really assist a driver. So any regular drivers can do very impressive speeds in these cars, which you can't with the European counterparts or European supercars back then. So I have a 360, which was released in 1999. So technically they're around the same era. There is no way I can drive as confidently and as quickly in my 360 than when I'm in an STI or an Evolution. This era Japanese cars are really special, and I can understand why so many people want to go back and buy them now. And the special edition, special ones are so valuable, including this one. This 22B is easily a $1 million Hong Kong car, easily. And you'll have the NSX-Rs, the special edition GTRs, they all go for crazy money, and you can tell why. So it has been a very, very good trip down memory lane. I have to thank the owner again for being so trusting with the car, with us. and giving me this really valuable experience. If you like this video, please like, please subscribe. Remember to click the subscribe button and the bell button so that you get notification next time we have a video out. Please also make sure to check out our Instagram at InstacarHK. And if you feel like a read, you can also go to my blog at www.instacarhk.com, where I have blogs on every car that I have reviewed, and some of them will have more information than the video itself. So thank you for watching, and we'll have more classic car videos coming soon. Thank you.